It was a busy day at the Blue Mountain Quarry, and Sir Handel was busily shunting some trucks in the sidings, until he saw a familiar face.
Well, 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 if it isn't my old enemy, Sir Handel.
Hello, George. What are you doing here at the quarry?
I've been sent here to help the workmen flatten the bottom surface in this place.
Oh, yeah? I've been sent here to shunt trucks in the sidings. I'm still better than you, George.
Pah! I wouldn't care if you swank around with your steamroller wheels pretending you're as good as me again, wouldn't you?
Hey! George!
What did you do that for?
I didn't do anything. It was you. You need to say sorry if you squashed that oil drum in front of my face.
Okay then. I'm sorry for messing you up. My sweet big roller of mine.
What? To me, not your front roller.
But George the Steamroller ignored Sir Handel as he rolled off back to work as if nothing had happened. Sir Handel was furious that George had squirted the oil in front of him. Later that day, Sir Handel returned to the sheds to get cleaned up from the oil, but he had to wait for Luke to get polished first.
Ah, I love having a good polish. Okay, Sir Handel, it's your turn.
About time.
Why are you acting so annoyed today?
It's because of George.
George? Who's George?
He's the steamroller who's always grumpy and thinks that all railways should be ripped up and turned into roads. When I first met him years ago, he tackled me and broke some of my trucks while I was pulling a special goods train.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. I hope I don't get into trouble if I run into that steamroller myself.
But as Luke returned to the quarry to pick some slave trucks to take to the transfer yards, he saw George nearby and was worried.
Oh, great. Another little engine's come to humiliate me. At least it isn't that stupid Sir Handel.
You must be George the Steamroller. Sir Handel's been telling me so much about you.
What would I care? If you little engines weren't in this place, then I'd get the workmen to rip up all these rotten rails and replace them with nothing but roads.
But George, railways are a very important part of the island.
I don't care. It's either you get out of this place or I'll squash you flat.
Luke was so frightened, he raced away from George as fast as he could. George glared as he watched Luke disappear with his slate trucks. When Luke returned to the transfer yards, he told Sir Handel all about George.
You were right, Sir Handel. That steamroller is nothing but trouble.
We must be careful if we go near that steamroller, Luke. He's a real menace to our little railway, and he's a very clumsy road hog from my point of view.
The next morning, Sir Handel arrived at the wharf, where Skarloey and Peter Sam were waiting for Mr. Percival to give them their jobs for the day.
First up, I've got trucks of sardines that need delivering to the Refreshment Lady's tea room up at Lakeside.
Sardines, sir? What are they?
They're little fish, Sir Handel, and they need to be delivered right away.
Don't worry, Sir Handel. I'm sure everything will be just fine once you deliver the sardines to Lakeside.
Not if I see that steamroller out and about again.
Skarloey, you will be taking passengers from Crovan's Gate to Lakeside. Peter Sam, you must deliver the rest of the food supplies for the Refreshment Lady's tea room.
But what about Duncan? Wasn't he here this morning, sir?
I've already sent Duncan to deliver some slate to repair the roofs on the buildings earlier, and Sir Handel will get these sardines to Lakeside immediately.
As you wish, sir.
As Sir Handel puffed along the line, wasn't thinking about how smelly the sardines were. He was thinking about George if he next saw him.
I hope that steamroller doesn't make fun of me when he sees me pulling the sardines.
Further down the line, Sir Handel had to cross a wooden trestle bridge. But as he was about to reach the other side, he saw a nasty surprise.
George, what are you doing blocking my track? Move over this instant!
Sir Handel? I didn't see you there. Wait, is that fish trucks you're pulling?
I said, move over, you road hog!
I'm sorry, but I don't listen to imitation steamrollers.
You need to reverse back onto the road and you need to say sorry.
My driver has gone on his lunch break, and I told him to park my front roller on your track, so I won't let any engine use this line at all.
Apparently you've been unfair and quite frankly not very nice.
Not very nice? What do you mean by all this?
Well, you didn't say sorry when you squashed the oil drum in front of me in the bar. You've been quite rude to Luke when he saw you yesterday.
What's going on here, Sir Handel?
George is blocking my way, Skarloey. I'm gonna be late delivering the sardines.
George, you'll need to listen to Sir Handel and move out of his way so he can pass.
But I already told Sir Handel that my driver went on a lunch break, so I'm not moving until he comes back.
Why have you stopped, Skarloey? Do you need a bit of a push?
Apparently, Sir Handel is in front of me, and he isn't moving his wheels.
Oh dear, has he broken down?
I haven't broken down, you idiot. George is blocking the bridge and he says he can't move until his driver returns.
Oh, come on. What's the hold up? Why are you blocking my way, Peter Sam?
It's not me, it's Skarloey.
It's not me, it's Sir Handel.
It's not me, it's George. So you need to say sorry. Please?
I'm not the one who's made a mistake. You have. Look at all the engines you're holding up.
Oh dear, there are a lot of engines on this bridge, and I can't hold that many of us. I hope it doesn't collapse.
Be quiet, Peter Sam. This bridge is strong enough as it is.
As the engines were waiting impatiently for George to move over, Sir Handel spotted Butch the tow truck nearby and had an idea.
Maybe Butch can help us. He can tow George off our tracks.
Good idea, Sir Handel. We'll use our whistles to get that tow truck's attention.
Stop whistling for crying out loud!
Huh? What's that noise?
Butch, thank goodness you're here. We need you urgently.
What's going on here, little ones?
George is blocking our track and we need to get moving. Can you tow him off the track and back onto the road?
I'm not sure if it'll be possible, but it's worth a try.
Soon, Butch was attached to the rear end of George and pulled the heavy steamroller with all of his strength. George felt himself moving backwards and was very surprised.
Hey, what's going on? Why am I moving backwards off the rails?
Okay, everyone, the track's all clear now.
So long, you clumsy road hog.
Thanks, Butch. Now we'll continue with our deliveries for Lakeside.
Well, it's about time we get a move on.
I'll get you for this, you fools! The best I can do to rip up your rails!
That evening, when the engines returned back to the sheds, Mr. Percival had some strong words for George.
George the steamroller, what do you have to say about the big delay you caused earlier,
I'm sorry I was acting rude to your engines, sir. And I'm sorry for the other things too, Sir Handel.
I'm glad you've learned your lesson, George.
Now then, I need someone to go back to the quarry for some important night work later tonight. Any volunteers?
The engines looked at Sir Handel, and then Sir Handel made a decision.
Maybe now you can work at the quarry tonight, George. There's still a bit of lumps that need flattening down, you know.
Well, I would go back to the quarry, but
I tackle and squash you all like pancakes.
Railways are no good. Turn them into roads.
I don't move for imitation steamrollers.